What's up, everybody? It's the Real and Raw August Artois, the founder of Just Wrestling, here to tell you to head over to WrestlingOverEverything.com. Use code JUST for 10% off your order. That better be good enough, because I'm done.
Just Wrestling Season 3 rolling on. Here we go, and hey, we got referee Lee Canfield making the decisions as we kick things off. Who's it gonna be? Oh, yeah.
Alex Bryant versus Stephen Frick.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Just Wrestling Season 3, Episode 3. I'm Trevin Adams, joined by Zach Romero, and it's time to fight.
Trevin, what an unbelievable match to kick off episode 3 here. We got the Impact player going against that frickin' guy in the center of the ring. I am excited to see this go down.
Yeah, the immediate lockup here, Alex Bryant, Stephen Frick. Heck of a lot more experience on the side of Frick, but will it matter here at Just Wrestling in a stalemate?
That's something you see terribly often. Just two men, equal strength at that one moment, breaking it up. And I gotta say, official welcome to referee Lee Canfield for joining us here in the underground here at Just Wrestling. Another lockup here in the center of the ring, going back to this little tug of war.
And perhaps Frick going to get the better of this. Let's see. Oh, clean break, but a little disrespect there. Little, hey, welcome. Of course, Alex Bryant making his Just Wrestling debut. Frick, we've seen him in both Season 1, Season 2. He's won, he's lost, but man, Frick is surely fought.
100%, and he is looking particularly focused here. And for Frick, that's saying something. Beautiful waistlock applied, and I'm surprised at the amount of technical chess we're seeing right here. Not surprised for Just Wrestling, but surprised from these two particular fighters. Very interesting showcase to start us off.
Frick able to take back control, but indeed, Alex Bryant, physical specimen, getting an opportunity to show what he can do here at Just Wrestling. And of course, Frick, even with the elbow taped up, Frick's not letting you go. He's going to crack your head like it's a walnut.
8 years in, Frick is, and he has learned a lot and seen even more here in the state of Florida. Look at that headlock takedown, though. Beautiful placement in the center of the ring.
Yeah, the Impact player, Alex Bryant. Oh, wait! Forced into the pin by Frick, but credit to Bryant, regaining the composure and immediately bringing things back. And continuing to hold on to that head, but you see Frick is just struggling.
Yeah, trying to power his way out. Very well done. And although this thing has been a chess match to start things off, when you've got Frick involved here, you've got to be careful. This guy can completely fly off the handle if necessary, and is looking to really wrench this arm right out the socket.
Frick with the wrist control, but keep in mind, Alex Bryant, former background in amateur wrestling, has those mat fundamentals to go along with his wrestling fundamentals, and now twisting that taped arm of Frick. You see Frick quickly fighting to get away.
Oh yeah, that arm is a giant target on this man. The heavily bandaged arm. It's one of those phantom wrestling injuries. I don't think it's ever going to be 100%, but Frick still fights on and very wisely keeps his opponent centered in that ring.
You saw Bryant try to get to the ropes, but indeed Frick with the wrist control. Alex Bryant, a regular in that North Carolina, Mid-Atlantic area, and a great way to escape. Wow. Ricocheting off the ropes and grabbing right onto the leg, going for the pin. Not able to keep Frick down, but so impressive.
Unbelievable escape, powering into that pin. Very impressive showcasing, but not enough to keep Frick down to the mat.
You hear the fighters impressed, at least for the moment, by Bryant, but Frick stopping the chant of his peers and showing why Frick will just hit you hard.
Well, Trevin, you and I are very familiar with Stephen Frick, and wait a minute!
Not able to keep down Frick, but beautiful drop kick to follow up, and Bryant going for the pin again. Still can't keep down Frick, but Bryant looking great.
Bryant got the notes early on here. We only got 10 minutes per fight. He is not looking to waste time. Multiple pin attempts. Now back into the submission. Very impressive showcasing from this Impact player.
When it comes to Bryant, he has held championship gold all over that Mid-Atlantic. Places like AIWF, Ring Wars Carolina, and so forth. But right now what matters is what happens in a Just Wrestling ring. And Frick is lighting up Alex Bryant.
Frick is a little on that edge in terms of sanity, and his ring awareness is bar none, and once he gets that momentum started, it's hard to top, and wow, a chop right to the chin there. Oh my God.
Alex showing he'll hit you right back just as hard. Give it to this young man. However, Frick, that's his M.O., his goal. He's a brawler. As he's choking some of the life out of Bryant, I'm guessing we have a little bit of an angry Frick. But bottom line is, Frick's a brawler. He wants to lure you in, and he wants to have a fight. He doesn't want a scientific wrestling match.
That's why I was so shocked at the start here. You don't really see the textbook technician wrestling from Frick, but he was able to keep up, and now right into a pin.
Bryant signs of life, but you're absolutely right. Frick can go on the mat when he has to. And we've talked before about the number of championships Frick has held here in Florida, the World Wrestling Network, Tampa Bay Pro, and so forth. You're hearing a little bit of a dueling chant here, if you will. Wow.
Wow.
Ouch. Tell me about the soul of Alex Bryant right now.
Wowie, wow, wow. That was a hell of a slap. And now what a snap suplex. Perfect placement, center of the ring, right in that pin.
Of course, you had that opportunity to say you saw the soul leave the body of Alex Bryant, but regardless, what a chop. So hard-hitting. Both athletes, give them credit, but right now, Frick's in control.
Yeah, this has been an unbelievable showcase, and really a perfect example of everything that's still left in the tank for Just Wrestling. It started out as an experiment here in Florida, and has really expanded to be the platform to showcase the potential future of this business.
We're seeing Frick bending the rules a bit once again this fight. I know how it gets. You get into the thick of things, you get down and dirty.
His peers want blood. They want him to frick him up, as they say. And Stephen Frick, momentum on his side. And Trevin, you pointed out, a brawler through and through. You see that slugfest in the eyes of Stephen Frick. This is how he likes to play it.
Big splash. Catching Bryant. Beautiful side slam into the pin. But again, 2 count only. What's it going to take to keep down Alex Bryant?
Great question. You can see the frustration starting to set in on Frick, but Frick still remaining calm, attempting to focus. That is what 8 years experience are going to bring you. That level of insight.
How many chops have we seen in this fight? But right now, the signs of life from Alex Bryant trying to strike back against Frick, but Frick going for the midsection. Definitely some violence today from Stephen Frick here in Just Wrestling.
Yeah, the double chops right to the midsection. Knock the wind right out of you. And look at this. Nothing scientific there. Just straight punches right to the top of the head.
I give Alex Bryant a lot of credit still in this fight. But how long can you just be beaten on by somebody like Stephen Frick? If it keeps going like this, we're either going to have the time limit count. Oh! Wow! But not enough.
Oh my God. The money was on that, Trevin. The money was absolutely on that. That Playboy went flying. That was unbelievable.
I was musing. Was time running out for Alex Bryant, but Alex Bryant is bringing it right now. Is Frick going to get caught? No. Bryant was thinking seal the deal, but instead Frick with his own answer.
Wow.
Now hook in the leg. Still can't keep down Bryant.
There's a big freaking Uranagi right in the center of the ring, throwing all of his weight into it. But this young man still has some fight left in him. And you can see that thin line that keeps Frick sane in this ring is about to be broken here. Went for the spear, but not quite.
Code red pinfall. Bryant got him.
Wow. Wow. What an unbelievable fight here, Trevin. This was one away. We're almost at the end of the season, and things are just popping off here.
You hear the reaction from the other fighters. Indeed, what a showing from both athletes. And Alex Bryant had the right answer at the right time, victorious in his Just Wrestling debut. But you gotta think, Stephen Frick wanted a fight, and he had to love it because he surely got a fight tonight.
Excellent showcase, both these young men. But our Playboy here at Just Wrestling comes out on top. Excellent work, fellas. Excellent work.
Fight back against energy drink burnout with Punched Energy. Made with 100% natural caffeine, so that means no crash and no jitters. Visit punchedenergy.com and use code JUST10 for 10% off your order. Punched Energy. Feel the punch.
Time for another fight here. Just Wrestling Season 3, Episode 3. Who's Lee Canfield gonna pick?
All right, another new face around here at Just Wrestling. The mysterious, the fighter, Ronin, oh, but not so mysterious, the 8 Deadly Sins Sideshow.
Sideshow versus Ronin.
Zach, what a juxtaposition here when it comes to experience. Ronin isn't even a year into the sport yet, and Sideshow's over 2 decades. This is gonna be wild, man.
Trevin, I've been beating this thing to death. One thing I've absolutely loved about Just Wrestling is the styles clashing here. No rules, no nonsense, just fighter versus fighter, and we've gotten some unbelievable matchups here, and I think this one could be the top of that list. Ronin, so tough for so early in his career, but Sideshow, he is literally, I would say, king of Florida. There's no doubt. I've called him the mayor 1,000 times, the king of the sport down here, and you can see the scars on that body to prove it.
When it comes to Sideshow, if you want to talk about the definition of he has forgotten more than Ronin will ever know, it's the truth, and that's not a knock on Ronin. It's a credit to Sideshow, a testament to the years of experience. Guy started in Philadelphia, now in Florida, but hey, here's Ronin. Great counter to the head scissors.
I will give it to Ronin here. The fact that he was completely confident, unshaking, going up against, I would say, the closest thing we've got to legend status here at Just Wrestling would be Sideshow. Ooh, and look at these two locking up here, and Ronin not backing down, baby!
That would definitely show your mettle if you could go toe-to-toe with Sideshow, and the confidence oozing right now off of Ronin. But Sideshow, changing direction, taking out Ronin.
Like a Mack truck just running right through you, and Ronin quickly reevaluating his situation here.
Midsection caught by Sideshow. Sideshow, of course, has held championships all over the sport. You hear the respect from the other fighters. Oof. And again, as stated, well over 2 decades of experience. Ronin, though, in just a year, starting with Jay Lethal, recently training at the Dark Arts Academy with Malachi Black. Oof. Got some of the best of the sport teaching you right now, but it's fight time. Does that translate? We're going to find out here at Just Wrestling.
You can see the training holding with Ronin. You can see the confidence moving in that ring, but you can also see the pin.
2 count only.
And you can see, training or not, this is the trial by fire. This is truly where you get your education, when you are standing across the ring from a man like Sideshow.
Keep in mind, really for both men, not only is it their Just Wrestling debuts, but you're seeing the educated feet here, the striking game of Ronin. Ronin is a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But guess what? Sideshow can strike the heck out of you.
Yeah, wombo combo out of Sideshow right here and sticking the landing on it too. And now right to the pin.
And amazingly, Ronin's still in this thing. Switchblade Symphony not enough to stop Ronin. And I was already talking about the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Well, hey, how about this? He is a Muay Thai fighter and took his most recent fight with less than 6 days' notice.
Wow.
Which, from the perspective of that type of a combat sport, I mean, that really is almost like being at ringside and being pointed at by Lee Canfield. Point being, the fighter, what a boot. The fighter in Ronin is built for this. Pinfall. Not enough to keep down Sideshow.
It seems like we almost had ourselves a knockout with that one boot from Ronin. And you can see the confidence on display here and the skill set. But there is one thing that no amount of Muay Thai or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or any other martial art is going to teach you, and that is crazed bar fight toughness. And that is what Sideshow has in spades.
You see the choke on Sideshow. Sometimes that's the way to go. Take the oxygen out and gives Ronin some time to think about what he got to throw next at a guy like Sideshow. It takes so much to keep him down. One other thing to keep in mind as you see those strikes, Ronin, former member of the U.S. Air Force, was part of the Aviano Air Base boxing team, but that don't mean much when you're down in the mat, into the pin. Wow.
He's part of the Air Force, and he went airborne with that move. Wow, Sideshow slamming him right to the canvas, but still not enough. I will give it to Ronin. He has impressed me thus far. But as you pointed out, Sideshow, the literal definition of done it all and seen it all in wrestling. This is an opponent like Ronin has never had before.
And how many guys have been defeated by that full Nelson flatliner, the Dark Passenger by Sideshow? Impressive Ronin still going as he fights back. And the question here, though, is as you're seeing, Sideshow can weather the storm of strikes. He'll throw his own. Who's going to get the better of things?
Great question. And now look at this. Really trying to build that momentum here. Looking to take the kid's head off, but not quite. What a strike to the chest.
Flying despair, and it's enough. Wow.
Wow. Shades of Ox Baker with that shot right to the heart, and Sideshow down in the center of the ring. What an unbelievable ending to a brawl of a fight between these two. Really impressive debut of Ronin here.
You got to give it to Ronin, the knockout. Surprising Sideshow, knocking the man out. And the veteran Sideshow, who looked great throughout this fight, well, just wrong place, wrong time. And it's good news for Ronin, who not only wins, but show of respect.
It's exactly what you want to see here at Just Wrestling. It's about, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to say we might be able to do this one again.
Welcome to Boomer Products. Build strength and muscle naturally and cut recovery time in half with Boomer Products. Powerful, natural, and unique nutritional supplements with the strength that you need. Use code JUST20 at boomerboost.com to save 20% on your order. Boomer Products. It's the strong stuff.
Final fight of episode 3, season 3. Who we got coming in? Ooh, another newcomer. Oh boy, here comes trouble. I love it.
Trevin, it's Leeroy Shogun!
Damon versus Shogun.
Zach, you hear the reaction for the other fighters for Shogun. And there's a reason for that. Shogun, in his Just Wrestling debut season 1, wins by knockout and was victorious against season 2. Shogun's coming in as a tough dude.
You want to talk about top of the mountain here at Just Wrestling? I would say Leeroy Shogun may very well be that top of the mountain. He is the man to try and beat out of this experiment, and we have seen it on display. He is so tough and so skilled, and Morningstar obviously coming into this thing, giving up the size advantage, giving up the strength advantage, giving up the experience advantage. This is a tall order, but as we just saw in the last match, crazier things have happened here at Just Wrestling.
Both men trained by Jay Lethal. Perhaps there's a little bit of both camaraderie as well as knowledge of one another. Morningstar, of course, recently calling himself the artist. We're about to see what kind of a work of art he is. That shoulder tackle, well, that was a work of beauty.
Leeroy Shogun nearly turning him into Jackson Pollock painting there, just splatting him right dead on the mat. And now looking to take down the big tree trunk-like legs of Leeroy Shogun.
Smart offense here for Morningstar, and it works into the front chancery, perhaps catching Shogun off guard. There is something to be said for coming in too confident. And you can't blame Shogun for being confident, but if Shogun takes his eyes off Morningstar, I get the feeling it could be an upset here. However, right now, Morningstar just trying to escape and does.
Very well done. And back right to that headlock applied, that front face lock. Very impressive from Morningstar. Really trying to keep Shogun grounded, which when you're giving up as much of the strength and size as Morningstar is, I cannot blame him for trying to keep him down.
And you see the mutual respect between both athletes. We've talked before about Leeroy Shogun and the fact that he's trained in 5 different martial art disciplines. He's mastered 2. He's won 4 international karate tournaments, including beating 3 men in a night. Shogun's just a tough dude. His first year in our sport, he was undefeated. It's insane.
It's not surprising. You see the strength on display. You see the confidence on display. Shogun is a bad, bad man. And Morningstar now attempting to speed his way through this. And wow, beautiful, beautiful hip toss there.
Using the leverage despite the size differential. That's what Morningstar is going to have to do. What a knee as well. And he says he's the only realism in an abstract world. And Zach, I don't quite understand it, but I think these kicks are pretty real.
100%. With art, it may not be about what it is to you. It may be about what it means to your opponent when you are beating them black and blue. And now look at the agility of Morningstar, but not enough for Leeroy Shogun not to take advantage. And good Lord, the strength.
It was a big old nope from Shogun, but returned fire of his own nopes. The counter and then the drop kick. Morningstar looking good, going for the pin. Only 2.
I will say very impressive showcasing from both athletes thus far. The fact that Morningstar has been able to keep up with Shogun and not just, let me be honest, take an absolute ass whooping in the middle of this ring. Very, very impressive. In fact, I will go a step further and say a lot of the new faces we've seen in this episode have all incredibly impressed me. I am really confident about where this whole experiment can go if we come back for another season.
Oof. And right now, Shogun finally able to at least force Morningstar to break the hold, but right back into the sleeper. I gotta say it again, David Morningstar is doing everything he has to do to try to stop Shogun, but the big man's insatiable.
Anybody want a peanut? He could not keep the sleeper hold applied, and is again going back to the ground game, trying to keep the big man on the mat, and I think that is his best opportunity right now to survive. Win, that's a little much. Survive, much more likely.
When you have a man walk in who says his mantra is, I'm a bad man, and believes he can destroy the world, and has a mantra like by any means necessary, if you're Morningstar, you want to stay away. You want to find a way to defeat Leeroy Shogun. You need to have the separation at the critical moments, which unfortunately that chop, there was no separation for Morningstar. But you get my point. Morningstar scouted. Wow, Leeroy Shogun very smartly and just continues to impress. Can he continue it though?
Dropping that heel right on the side of the head, and you can see a real house of cards being built here by Morningstar, and Shogun down on the mat cover.
2 count only, but you notice no 1 count kickouts by Leeroy Shogun. Morningstar is wearing down the big man, and we keep talking about the credentials of Shogun. We keep talking about what Shogun has done at Just Wrestling. Morningstar wins, and wins this definitively. He could be the new top dog.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You want to talk about opportunity knocking at your door. You are seeing it in full effect here. However, that door also came with a big boot right to the face. And Morningstar now down on the canvas.
And you cannot forget the fact that Shogun has knocked men out. Oh! And now that Shogun's taking control, this could be the beginning of the end. I think we're seeing a mugging here for David Morningstar.
With Leeroy Shogun, it's about the fighter's philosophy. It's be like water. Water goes in the cup, it becomes the cup. For Shogun, become the ass whooping. And that's what we're seeing here.
Pinfall.
But not enough for a 3 count.
And you see some frustration from Shogun, arguing with the official Lee Canfield. Not something we normally see. It's interesting here. I wonder if Shogun really has been thrown off his game and has been upset. Ow.
Well, if he was upset before, he ain't now.
Wow. Not sure if David Morningstar is awake anymore.
Yeah, putting this man on the canvas in more ways than one. And again, the strikes, unbelievable power.
Man has been folded up. Morningstar is prone, and what an elbow to the small of the back. Viciousness, now the pin. Wow. Zach, I honestly thought that was all she wrote. I didn't see a scenario where Morningstar could survive, and at least for now, David's still in it. Ow.
And now Shogun looking to perhaps put this guy away for, wait a minute!
Yeah, perhaps a mistake with strength on display by David Morningstar. Countered the lethal injection, but Leeroy back in control. But is he? Victory roll!
Wait a minute!
Wow. Remember, both men trained by Chain Lethal. Gonna give Morningstar credit for having the lethal injection scouted, but you can't scout a boot like that.
Yeah, he had it scouted, and now he forgot how to do math from 4th grade. So back at square one, I believe, Trevin.
You hear the appreciation from the other fighters here. Just Wrestling, it's a fight club. We're all here to fight. You show up, you don't know who you're facing, or the official points at you. And I gotta give both fighters credit. They're coming in there, guns are blazing. They know they've got 10 minutes to finish this thing. The question now, Zach, is who wins our main event tonight? Ooh.
Well, my big question is, Trevin, is the, oh, wait a minute.
In.
Wow. My question is, was the "This is awesome" chant because of the amazing moves we've seen here, or because none of those guys at ringside are having to take what Leeroy Shogun is dishing out? Because that's also awesome.
I don't think anyone is complaining about not getting a beating from Leeroy Shogun, but David Morningstar still in this thing. The fight continues. Underdogs can win. I am so curious to see how this thing's going to wrap up. Is Shogun in control? Or is he? That elbow got up by Morningstar.
A Morningstar elbow right in the kidney. Wow!
That moonsault, could it be enough? Into the pin. Oh. Unfortunately for Morningstar, just couldn't get all his weight onto Shogun. So close still.
Well, you saw after that moonsault, they both came down in a heap, and you can see Morningstar really favoring the knee there. He might have taken more of that impact than Shogun did. And now this thing is back to even Stevens as Lee Canfield begins the count.
Fortunately for Morningstar, they call it high risk for a reason, and as much as in the moment it worked, if that knee is hurt, I don't see this continuing well for Morningstar. Albeit Morningstar, you saw attempting and does.
Wow!
Muscles up, Leeroy Shogun. How? How did he get that Samoan drop?
I cannot believe it. The adrenaline has got to be coursing through the veins of this young man, who now ascends to the high red district once more.
Bad knee be damned. Here we go. Morningstar flying off frog splash. Could it happen? Into the pin. Wow.
Trevin, I was holding my breath for so long I thought I was going to pass out here at ringside. That was unbelievable.
I think the entire building thought it was the end, but Leeroy Shogun, like a horror movie, coming to life. Oof. Good God.
Those strikes so deadly, and now perhaps going for Lee. Oh, wait a minute, again!
Oof. Head first, and there it is. The baddest kick alive, and that is all she wrote.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
What a win for Leeroy Shogun.
Unbelievable matchup here. Great main event, but Shogun remains the top of the mountain here at Just Wrestling.
Indeed, credit to Morningstar. What an episode of Just Wrestling it's been. For Zach Romero, I'm Trevin Adams, and the fight will continue at Just Wrestling.
Two shots fired, can't you feel the emotion?
what you want.